Do you ever feel like a fraud? Like where you're at, you don't belong? And do you ever find yourself self-destructing your life when it starts to get really good? Well, I'm going to tell you something. That's called imposter syndrome. It's where we feel like who we are doesn't deserve X, Y, and Z. And so then we tend to blow things up out of fear because we don't want people to figure us out and we don't want to fail people. And in this video, we're going to be talking about imposter syndrome, what it is, how to identify if you have it, and how to overcome it. So you never have to blow up your life again, you never have to question your self-worth, and you never have to feel like a fraud. What's going on, guys? My name is Fausto Castellanos. I'm a motivational speaker, clinical counselor, and spiritual advisor. But most importantly, I'm somebody who's battled with addiction, trauma, mental health, and a whole lot of codependency. And I truly believe those who hurt the most heal the most. And there's a lot of people out there that claim to be gurus, healers, life coaches who are hurting you more than helping you. And I'm somebody that's not only been through the pain, but I've walked through it the healthy way, went to school to get educated, and I've worked with over tens of thousands of people due to my mentor who allowed thousands of people at his house to come for free to heal, to recover, and to grow. And in this video, we're going to be talking about imposter syndrome, what it is, why we struggle with it, how common it is for people to actually go through it, so we can take back our power, raise our self-worth, and finally live our best dream life. And I'm somebody who's battled with imposter syndrome for a long time. There's been relationships, whether it's romantic, business, or friends, that I feel like a fraud. I feel like I didn't deserve it. And so then I would live in fear and end up trying to find ways to break up, walk away, ghost, or blow it up because I was so afraid to be seen for what I thought I was. And that's a symptom of imposter syndrome. And a lot of times for me, I wouldn't go do things or I wouldn't have the discipline to follow through because I was so afraid that maybe I think I can do it, but maybe I'm just living in this delusion because I'm a fraud. And so that's how it was for me. And that's why a lot of the times I would drink, I would use, trying to find things to escape my reality, or I would never truly follow my dreams and go for these things that I really want to do because I was already trying to tell myself that I can't do it because I had this belief that I can't do it, which for me stems from my childhood. And so that's a big thing for me that I had to learn to overcome. So we're going to talk about it more in this video. So why do we struggle with imposter syndrome? This is where I'm going to go to the root cause of imposter syndrome. Because remember, it's not just about self-doubt. It's actually a deep core belief that you truly believe subconsciously that you don't deserve good, that you're not worthy of things, that there's something wrong with you. So anytime something maybe works in your favor, you're like, I just got lucky. Or man, if they only knew who I really was. And so you're constantly living in fear. You're constantly living in anxiety. You're constantly feeling like something's going to go wrong, right? When's the other shoe going to drop? And so this is going to keep you from going after things that you really want to do. So it stems from your childhood. So you got to look at who spoke that into your mind and in your soul that you weren't good enough. What did you see? What did you perceive? What happened where you felt like good things shouldn't happen for you, that you're not worth things, that you don't have value, that you don't have the esteem, or, you got to figure out like what happened that caused you to feel like you're not good enough. That's going to be the core thing. See, for me, growing up with a narcissistic father, narcissism, when you're around it, makes you feel like you're never good enough, that nothing you do is right. And so because of that deep core belief, I started attracting people in my life that make that belief even stronger, like bullies, kids just being kids, friends that betrayed me or hurt me. So that belief that stemmed from my narcissistic father got stronger and deeper based on the experiences that I had of other people that were like that to me. So that's why in my adulthood, when I'm unaware of it, it's affecting me. And so for you guys that are watching this video, if you struggle with imposter syndrome, I want you to look back into your past to see where it stemmed from. Because remember, you can't heal it until you find the roots. So the symptoms are one thing we'll talk about, but you got to look at the root so the symptoms stop. And here are 3 ways that you'll see imposter syndrome affect your life. So now we know it comes from your childhood, right? A deep core belief. And the way it's going to manifest is going to be maybe you struggle with perfectionism, feeling like anything that's not perfect means you're a failure. 2, comparison. If you find yourself comparing yourself to other people, you're probably constantly feeling less than. And that's a problem because someone's always going to look better, have more, or do better than you. So you're never going to feel enough if you're always comparing. That's why they always say the only person you should compare yourself to is yourself, who you were yesterday, because comparison robs you from your joy of life. And the third one is fear of failure. If you fail at something, it means you're a failure. So you want to avoid any mistake possible. And how do you avoid mistakes? By not even trying at all. So we connect failure to our identity, which hurts us because failure is a part of life. You need to fail to succeed. So a lot of people like us, we don't have successful lives in maybe certain areas of our life because you have to fail to get there. But remember, we have a fear of failure because failure means we're not good enough. It proves that we're not worthy and we're a fraud. So we'll do whatever we can to avoid it. Now, see, imposter syndrome doesn't just live in your mind. It actually affects the way your life is. And so right here, I'm going to break down some ways where it affects your life so you can identify, just in case you haven't yet, if this is something you struggle with. You downplay your accomplishments. You feel like you're faking it in your career and in your relationships. You avoid taking new opportunities because you feel like you're going to be exposed. And last, you may find yourself overworking, overcompensating, trying to prove something that you are worthy enough. And the worst part about imposter syndrome, it actually keeps you from your full potential. It keeps you for the reason why you're here on earth. It keeps you from living out your purpose, having your best relationships, being freaking financially free, being just happy and joyful and just living your best life. Imposter syndrome robs you from that. It tells you that you can't, when in actuality, you can. What I'm about to share next is a breakdown of how to start overcoming it. Now, remember, it's a journey. We're not going to fix this overnight, but it's possible. I'm proof of it. I've had imposter syndrome. I struggle with it here and there when there's new opportunities maybe that I view as above me, but I have the tools to be able to walk through it and how to challenge that way of thinking and how to focus on my belief system to change it. And I'm proof of it because, I didn't believe because of imposter syndrome, I can go back to school and graduate college. And I did. I didn't believe I can actually be in a healthy relationship because I've only been in toxic ones, but I'm in one. So I beat that one too. I didn't think I could start a business, but I did. I didn't think I can be a good speaker, start a YouTube channel. Even this, I have imposter syndrome doing with you guys. I'm like, what do I know? There's so many more people out there with more money, better looking than me, that have more to offer. And so I have a buddy of mine that I go to when it flares up, and he reminds me, you've been through the pain, you went to school, you've been helping people for years. All you do is help people. You've helped so many people and saved so many people's lives. Like, you know what you're talking about, Fausto. And that helps me kind of overcome that imposter syndrome with this YouTube channel. How to overcome imposter syndrome. The first one I'm going to give you is you got to challenge your thoughts. So people call this cognitive behavioral therapy, self-talk, whatever you want to call it. But what you're going to have to do, and this is a daily thing, you're going to constantly be doing it. Don't overthink it and feel like you have to do it every second. It's just once you're aware of the dialogue in your mind that happens when the imposter syndrome kicks in, you got to challenge those thoughts. You got to tell yourself and remind yourself, this thought is coming from my childhood belief. Someone said this to me or made me believe this. It doesn't mean it's true. You're going to have to practice that cognitive talk to your brain, right? That dialogue to be able to challenge it. Now, the feelings might not go away right away, but it kind of helps you separate from what's going on. That can give you the strength to take action. Another thing I like to do too is kind of create a list of things you have accomplished, no matter how small they are, how big they are. Again, don't downplay because that's what we do. I want you to write out things that you've accomplished. Sometimes we got to remind ourselves that we have done things. And because sometimes it's easy to forget. And sometimes what we're good at, if it seems natural, we don't think it's actually something worth celebrating. But that's not true because what we're good at, someone struggles with. And what we're good at, we didn't just wake up being good at it. We obviously did things over time to get good at it. So I want you guys to create a list of things you've accomplished. And when you're feeling low on yourself, read that list out loud. Read it out loud, feel it, play some music to it, really get into it to bring up the emotions because that kind of gets you remotivated. And then again, you challenge the thoughts like the first one. And so let's go hand in hand with each other. The third one, which is key, is that normalize growth. All of us suck when we start something. So never think because you're not good at something in the beginning, it's because of those deep core beliefs that you're a fraud. No. I'm telling you right now, if you put me on, let's say a jet ski, I've never been on a jet ski before, right? So you put me on, I'm going to overthink it and be like, what happens if I don't know how to do it? Oh my God, I'm so afraid. What happens if I mess up? And then if I do mess up, it's because I'm a fraud. That's all in my head, right? Or like dancing, salsa classes. I don't know how to salsa dance. And I remember the first time I went, I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to realize I'm a fraud. I'm not good enough. I don't know how to do this or that. And my girlfriend's like, if you've never done it before, then you should suck at it. And I was like, oh, that's true. So normalize growth. Understand something new, you should suck at it because you've never done it. So don't beat yourself up and think it's because of you. No, it's just normal. And that helps too when you go into new opportunities or new things to understand, like, I should suck in the beginning because everybody does. And then you learn over time, right? You don't just wake up and ride a bike the first time. You know what I mean? You ride it, you fall, maybe you do training wheels or whatever, but you try to figure it out. So again, remember, first one, challenge thoughts. Second one, write out your accomplishments. Third one, normalize growth. And then the fourth one, remember, confidence. What is that? One, we think we have to be confident everywhere. I know with me, like with imposter syndrome, I thought I had to be confident everywhere in my life. And that's why I would avoid things and not do things, or I would wait for the confidence to just suddenly arise in my body, which it doesn't. And then I would finally do it. And that's why I would hold off on things. But what I realized is everybody's confident in something, but they're not confident in everything. Confidence follows action. So remember, stop looking for the confidence. Know that the confidence comes after you've done it. Think about it. The first time you do something, you're probably doubting it in fear. And then when you do it, you're like, oh, that was easier than I thought. Boom, confidence happens. And then you're able to go about it better and better. Just like friends, the first time you don't know them, the more you know them, the more confident you are with hanging out with them. You don't have to overthink it. What do I say? Are we going to get along? How should I look? Ba-da-da-da. Not like that. So remember that. And the fifth one, which I want to add to this, is key. This is a secret. Imposter syndrome exists. Even if you're bettering your life, going to therapy, working on yourself, it can still exist. And the reason why it still exists is because you're not taking time to reflect. Reflection, by slowing down to reflect on your growth, allows growth to catch up to you. I'm going to say that again. Slowing down to reflect allows growth to catch up to you. So when you don't reflect and you're not doing those things, that's why you can still feel like a fraud after doing therapy and support groups and reading self-help books and working out and eating right or whatever you're doing. You can still feel like a fraud because maybe you're moving too fast in your healing. You got to take a step back to allow the growth to catch up to you. Because if not, your old identity will be stuck with your new identity. And that's what a lot of people don't talk about. But I've learned that through my therapy and working with my clients and what has worked for me. And so I want to give you that secret golden nugget. And just to kind of like cover it all up too, after I gave you guys those things, right? So it's what? Challenge your thoughts. 2, keep a wins list. 3, normalize your growth. We all suck when we start. 4, confidence comes after action. And 5, reflect and slow down so growth can catch up to you. And the biggest thing you want to in your circle to kind of encompass it all is pick good people who want to celebrate you and not tolerate you. You want people you can be transparent with that you struggle with imposter syndrome, that validate you, make you feel safe in order to grow out of it. Anyone that just tolerates you or makes you feel crazy or doesn't validate you, cut them out. I don't care if it's family. I don't care if it's friends. If they're not good for you, doesn't mean you need to keep them around because of you got history or you got blood. No. Protect your mind, protect your soul, protect your heart so you can grow through imposter syndrome and you can finally live your best life. And I truly hope this video helps you guys. Again, I got ADHD. I don't know where I went with that and stuff like that. But this is something I battle with, and I just want to share with you what's worked for me. And I know you're strong enough if you're still watching this video because you matter, you are loved, and you are needed, and you're going to crush it, and you're going to live your best life. And if you found this video helpful to you, I would deeply appreciate if you can like and subscribe and share it with anyone that you think that can help. Because the more, sorry guys, that was my cat that meowed. I'm going to let you out, okay? So if the more people that can see this video, then the more people can heal and the more people can grow. Because healing takes a team and we're going to grow together, heal together, and be the most happiest people to ever exist. Oh, and I forgot in the description below, I'm actually offering a free book. It's how to find purpose in your pain. And it's a 7-step process. It's completely free. It really is. There's no catch to this. I'm just being honest with you because I know I hate when people do that. But it's in there, the description. And if you click it, I'll send you it. I customly made it. It's not something that I just got off of AI or found. Like, it's my words, my writing, my graphics. And it's just something to give as a gift to you guys for free. How to start finding purpose in your pain to take back your power, guys. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let's heal. I love you guys and have a blessed and beautiful day.